Hey guys, I'm Kyle with Rhino and I have a confession to make to you. I am not a colorist. I suck at color grading. I have tried for 5 or 6 years to grade my films and I still suck at it. I'm not a Luke Newman or any other person that's epic at color grading. So, a brief history of my adventure of color grading. I started out with three-way color corrector with just a natural profile on my Canon 60D. It wasn't anything great at all. Then CineStyle came out and you got that log flat look, and I was super stoked because I'd get more dynamic range in my shots, and I still sucked at grading it. Even with LUTs, I've spent hundreds of dollars on LUTs. It says, okay, these pros have these LUTs and I'll apply it to my footage and it'll finally look good. It still looked like garbage. So I found something that I want to share with you called FilmConvert. Thanks to Philip Bloom. I read his blog. He's the man. I thought it was just a plug for this random thing until I actually used it and put it on my footage. It's changed my life, honestly. It's crazy. So FilmConvert is kind of like a LUT, but you download camera-specific profiles for the camera you're shooting with. And let me show you how it works, okay? So I'm gonna search for FilmConvert. Here it is. I'm gonna drag it onto one of my clips that I shot in S-Log2 S-Gamut, which is the picture profile that I prefer. So we have the effects controls here, and I've already installed the camera profile for Sony. I have an A7S and an A7S Mark II. This was shot on the Mark II. So I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna find Sony. I'm gonna find my camera, A7S Mark II, and I shot this in, let's see here, S-Log2 S-Gamut. So one thing to note about log is that you want to overexpose it. S-Log loves a lot of light. So you see the clip right here, it looks like garbage until I bring my exposure down a little bit. I might go a little bit more. This is my only gripe with FilmConvert, is that this exposure slider, it doesn't have enough resolution in it. So as I drag it, I'm blowing it out or it's crushing the blacks way too much. It's not great. So FilmConvert, if you're watching, please fix that to a slider that has more gradation in it. It's my only complaint with this. So as a non-colorist, I am proficient at color correcting my footage. And by that, I mean I'm adjusting my exposure, my white balance, and my black and my white levels, noise, all that other stuff. But when it comes to color grading is where I really have issues. And so the way I look at FilmConvert is that it has all of the tools for me to color correct, and then it makes it brilliantly simple to color grade into the film-like cinematic look that I love. So I have, let's see with the white balance. I'm gonna make this a little bit warmer. And then I'm gonna go down. So after you do a little bit of color correction, you go into film settings, and this is where you get to choose your preset of film stock and change some of the curves and the grain and the color. Typically, FilmConvert adds at 100% a little bit too much grain for me. So I put that down to like 60 or 70%. I don't really change film color or the curve. I like their stock presets for that, especially film color. Sometimes I'll change the curve if I want it to be a little less contrasty. So here is one film stock I like a lot. It's the FJ Super X 400. I throw that on there and it makes this look really, really nice. And the last thing I'll do is, well, I don't really play with three-way color correction much. Sometimes if I want to really dive into it, I'll make the shadows a little bit cooler, highlights a little bit warmer. Not today though. So the last part of my color correction is looking at levels, and I'm just gonna dial in my black levels, and I'm gonna dial in my white levels, which it's a little glitchy, but that looks pretty good. And then here I can adjust. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. The sky's a little blown out in this clip, but we really wanted to get the slider exposed properly. So honestly, this is the picture I want. It looks great. And here's the coolest part, okay? I never used to use a monitor. I thought it was a pain until I got my small HD and I started using this LUT, so you can export what you see here as a LUT and put it on our small HD so we can see in real time what it looks like. It's game changing. That actually came out like 4 years ago. I've just been way behind the curve. So instead of shooting my clip and seeing this, which isn't that exciting when I'm out in the field, I now see this. And we can, whenever we go out, we have a good idea of the look that we want. So we can actually pre-grade, put it on the small HD, and when we're shooting, we can see what it's gonna look like in post. So here's something cool. After you get your look pretty dialed, what I do is I'll actually copy the effect that I have on this clip, and I'm gonna put it on these 4 clips that I have here. And you can see what just happened. This was the clip before FilmConvert, and this is the clip after FilmConvert. The skin tones look beautiful, but it adds a great filmic look that's, you can change the contrast level. I like the contrast level on this, looks pretty good. Here's another clip that we shot that looks absolutely gorgeous. So we were down at West Coast Customs in November, and here's the shot before FilmConvert, and here's the shot after. It's absolutely gorgeous. So one thing to note, because the profiles are camera specific and also your picture profile, what we do is we have an A7S1 and an A7S2, and we want to make sure those are separate when we import those to our computer so we can apply the proper grade of those. So when we export, we actually export with the file folder named what the picture profile was, so we don't have to go through all the presets and see which one looks best. So to wrap this up, why do you use FilmConvert at all? Why do you shoot and log at all? It's all about dynamic range. It unlocks a lot of power inside of your camera, and with FilmConvert, it makes it easy to edit that so you don't spend hours grading. We're not getting paid for this. I don't even know the guys behind FilmConvert, but I love their product, and there's a link below for you to check it out. Thanks for watching.